Hi, I'm Darrell,
I'm Elia.
and we are Black Nerdy Scholars. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
I feel that.
Yeah, I had to. We're in the middle of moving,
Oh
and so
yeah.
I had to wake up at 7 this morning. To meet to go to the house because we were given windows for refrigerators and
Real
dishwashers
adult
and
shit.
or dryers and stuff to be delivered. And so I had to sit there and just hang out and wait for the Lowe's or Home Depot. I don't remember where we ordered it from. But the people to come deliver and install the stuff. It was fine, it was easy. I just the
Yeah.
timing window was anywhere from 8 to noon. And if they get there right at 8 and I'm not there at 8, then they'll be like, sorry, we missed you. I don't know, I'm doing a phone thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I should have gone to sleep earlier last night, but I got caught up watching this YouTube video. I think we were watching what is this nigga's name? Mr. Gigi, if you've heard of him.
I don't think so.
He has this video about a bunch of the movies that are currently in theater. I might put a little thumbnail of it
Oh, cool.
in post, but it was really locked in. He's a good performer in this medium. So because I was watching that, I saw the clock turn 11 and then I was like, I should go to bed. And then I saw the clock turn 12 and I was like, I should go to bed. And then by 1 o'clock, I was like, I'm sleepy. So yeah. Anyway, how are you?
I'm good. I've been playing that game.
Oh, hold on. We could talk about that in the
I guess I could talk about
catch-up.
more about my life than media I consume.
Yeah,
Well,
we have a section for media now.
well, it's Friday, so we're recording on a day we don't usually record, but on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And man, is that schedule. I feel like I always complain about it, but it's just hard to do.
Do you still go to the gym on those days?
Sometimes, but I have to go right after class. I have to go from class to the gym, or I'm not gonna want to go.
Sure.
Just because
Yeah.
It's hard to get back in that mindset after coming back inside.
Yeah. Or once the shoes come off for the first time, it's they're not going back on.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna invest in another personal trainer. I've tried personal trainers before.
Yeah.
And I will say if anyone out there is trying to lose weight, they work. They just are expensive.
Yeah.
And if you can't afford it, I'd highly recommend it. And if you can't, is it there are other things. There are apps and stuff that help do that, but
yeah, they have fitness apps if you're looking for something less pricey, non-AI ones too. If you wanna find some.
I know. I'm pretty sure we've talked about at least similar things, but is it bad that my only motivation for working out is I want to be hot?
No.
Right? Because I feel
had a conversation about this with my friend.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of in the fitness community, not necessarily shameful, but they do kind of, it feels kind of shameful to say you want to work out for vanity reasons. Your reasons for working out have to be rooted in wellness and lifestyle and stuff. But if you say something like, I want to be hot, it's no.
Because it's not I'm I want to be hot so I can trick women into doing sex stuff with me. It's not it's not motivated by my loins at all. It's purely this is the shell that I wish to put my brain in, if that makes sense. Me when I'm a ghost in the shell.
Yeah, I think gym results make you feel better about yourself.
But I also know that there is a stigma. I do feel guilty about it because I'm I feel like I should be doing this for the holistic reasons. But I don't. So
I mean, shit. That's why that might be why you take a walk every day, but I feel like
Yeah.
if you really enjoy, lifting weights purely for, to get bigger muscles, to develop stuff, it's good for you, but I do think there's a vanity aspect to it, and that's okay. It's
Hmm.
okay to be a little vain with yourself,
You
I
heard it
think.
here first, folks. It's okay to be vain with yourself. Make
Like,
it
you don't
your
have to
own
impose
problem.
your like on other people and shit, but
Yeah.
you can for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I this is only going to be like tangentially related, but it's this, a lot of people, especially digitally, a lot of people online feel like they struggle to differentiate between something that is important to me and something that is a truth about the world. And like
For sure.
I think you see it most in that. I might have talked about this before, but there's this video game that came out a couple of weeks ago
Yeah.
called Mouse PI for Hire. Have you heard of that?
Oh, I thought you were gonna mention that Crimson other game, but no, I
Oh,
did not hear
also
about this.
Crimson Desert, but I do want to talk about the Mouse PI for Hire because
Yes, this one's
it's on the tip
cute.
of my tongue. It is cute. It's aesthetically incredible. But IGN, which is, you know what IGN is, but if
Yeah,
people out there don't know, IGN is a video game journalism slash information hotspot. They do reviews of video games. They do like walkthroughs of video games and other media, but primarily video games. But IGN gave it a 6 out of 10. And a lot of people had a lot of thoughts about that. A lot of people were really, they used it as a way to explain why games journalism is full stop bad. But the review wasn't that bad. I think the review had a lot of points that I would agree with, where it's like it uses this noir aesthetic, and the aesthetic is incredible. The sound effects are incredible. The voice acting is incredible. The game moves very well, but because it is using this noir aesthetic, it feels weird sometimes that the gameplay loop is that of a boomer shooter, which is like Doom or Quake, those kinds of things, where you're like this detective, you're this gumshoe, where each level of the game is you running into a place and just blowing down
hmm.
everything that moves. And I'm like, you guys don't know what a PI is.
You
You
know what I
guys
would
don't really
say?
understand this
Wait,
genre.
actually, I
Yeah.
don't. We need a little story or something.
It
I don't know.
there is a case as the narrative, but
Okay.
there's this term that you've probably heard of, but it's ludonarrative dissonance, where when you're playing a video game, the ludic parts, ludic being to play, to engage in game, the ludic parts have this kind of flavor, but the narrative parts, the story, the plot, have a different kind of flavor, and there are moments when those like flavors clash. And I felt a lot of ludonarrative dissonance playing this game, but people are like, I really like the game, therefore this person rating it a 6 must be deliberately like malicious or is subhuman. I'm obviously being hyperbolic, but
Mhm.
it's just something that was on the tip of my tongue that reminds me of how certain people get online. Yeah.
It's. I mean, once you. I think when people learn to disconnect the numbers,
Yeah.
or at least don't let the numbers dictate how you
Yeah.
enjoy things, the ratings, the life just gets so much easier. I promise.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes I like things that are highly critically acclaimed. Sometimes I enjoy things that are probably considered mediocre
Yeah.
within their realm of rating or whatever, and that's perfectly okay. There's
What do
nothing
you
wrong with that.
think, if we were to articulate it? I feel like we can both feel the answer to what I'm about to
Yeah.
ask, but how would you articulate what is that driving force behind people that need people have to defend their tastes, as if other people's judgment of what they like is a judgment of them personally.
I think you said it right. Half of it, at least in the question.
Sure.
I think it's the idea of being judged by others, especially, you know, in a negative light. I think that draws out a lot of uncomfortable feelings. And I think people feel ashamed to, it's a lot of shame connected
Sure. Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
And to
Yeah.
a degree, I understand. I was younger once, and I think definitely I kind of
But
had
not
this.
anymore.
Like, I would watch all these movies that were considered critically acclaimed. I mean, they were critically acclaimed
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to watch things that I felt like were good
Mm-hmm.
versus,
Like I
I don't
want
want to
it to
watch
be
things that are
seen as
as
a
someone who serious
intellectual
person.
by
Yeah.
certain people. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I here, this is basically the same thing, but one thing that I want to say to like recontextualize the thing that we're describing, something that I've been doing in my personal life, when I feel like a certain kind of averseness towards something, or shame or guilt or something like that, uh, based on what another person has done, I've gotten in the habit of asking myself, do I feel this way because if I were them, I would feel that way? And that has helped put into context some stuff, right? And I think using the conversation we're already having, I think I'm guilty of it too. I think some people have this habit of going like, well, I know I judge other people based on what their tastes are, so that
Yes.
must be happening to me. Therefore, every disagreement is an attack of my character because I think people that like other things or dislike my things are beneath me. And isn't that exhausting?
Yeah.
Doesn't that
That
get
that
tired? Like
it
being
really gets
on
tiring.
defense?
Yeah.
I
Because
just like, yeah, good.
it's just it's not really worth the payout isn't worth it,
Yeah.
you
Like
know?
what do you win?
Nothing.
Yeah. To
Because
you
there's
win
somebody
a
out there
couple
who
of
does
cool
not give a
points with people that
fuck.
don't know who you are. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I think to make this point valuable, just like enjoy what you want. I think be critical of the things that you like,
Yeah. That doesn't
but
mean be uncritical.
that doesn't mean,
Just
and being critical doesn't mean like not having fun. And I do
yeah.
think some people can't, like, just don't
Critique
have that
things
view
they
of,
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
Critiquing is
people
not
don't have
fun
a
to
view
them.
of criticism as a thing that can, like, criticism is what you do in school, and school's
Yes.
not fun. And I'm like,
Also,
no,
I think
I'm having lots of fun when I do it.
criticism is just viewed in this very like zero sum bad, overwhelmingly negative thing. When I think even when we take it back to school, when you got criticism, even on like your work or something, it was meant to ultimately make you better or improve upon what is already there. Which is why I
Hmm.
think it's important
Yeah,
that this culture of critique continues with games because how are we going to advance? How are we going to
yeah,
learn from what we do and get better? Like
yeah.
it's necessary.
And I do think, especially when I was a little younger and back in, like, I'm now in my early 30s, but like my mid 20s, I think that there was this idea that I feel like everyone should be actively and ardently striving for like improvement, and I would use some people's like, not complacency, but stagnancy, I guess. Like people that they listen to the same things every day, they watch the same things over and over. They watch The Office constantly because that's a show that they like. It's their comfort show. I used to look at those people with like contempt. But now I'm like, no, I get it. Like capitalism's got us all fucked, and sometimes you just need a sweet little treat to keep you sane. I wish still more people strived for more when it comes to their tastes, when it comes to their engagement in society and in politics and in just local communities. but also I know we're all tired and gas is $5. So I don't know, man. Watch The Office. Like, yeah.
Or The Wire.
Or The Wire. Yeah.
Let me not just tell people after watching The Office to go into The Wire.
You know what's just like The Office? The Wire. They're like basically the same show. You have your Michael Scott character. They both start with the. They both have a theme song that's iconic.
Yes.
They both have at least one black person.
Yes.
It's like they're like twins.
Literally. And there's violence sometimes in The Office.
There's violence sometimes. Sometimes people are physical. Cheat. People cheat. They're basically the same show. All right, let's get into the content catch up. All right, I know you wanted to talk about Tomodachi Life.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I know you want to talk about Tomodachi Life. Explain what this video game is to the people that may not be tapped in.
Yeah, so basically Nintendo said, "Hey, give me all your money, bitch." And they made
unlike the other times in their existence. Yeah.
They they come back every few years like, "Give me all your money, bitch," I'm kind of glad they only do that every few years. Imagine if they were just dropping shit like back to back. It would be terrible. Yeah. But anyways,
God forbid Nintendo drop Heat more regularly. Yeah. All right, what's the game?
Hurt. Okay, yes. So it's a life sim, I think it's would be called. So like Sims. What's another life sim? Well, it's Animal Crossing.
Yeah, like put it on the scale of Sims to Animal Crossing. I think that's a language even people that are not like gamers TM can kind of use.
So Sims and Animal Crossing are both life sims of sort, but you play them really different. Like Sims is definitely about you're kind of like the omnipotent ruler, I'll describe, of like your little world, whereas Animal Crossing you're kind of immersed in the world and you make friends with villagers, you do tasks and shit, you're in the world. So I think it bridges together where you have the omnipotence of Sims, but you have the interconnectedness of like Animal Crossing. Like your village, your little people will talk to you, and
they're called Miis in this game, right?
Miis, yeah.
Miis,
so your standard
like,
Miis. Yeah, from
the Wii, which I think everyone has had a Wii. I don't think there's an American that didn't have a Wii in their life.
For sure. I do think it was cool how Nintendo, they just have the Mii. Like they didn't make a new thing, they just found ways to utilize the Mii. I mean, shit, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But it's just like we have this trademark. True. And so let's just use it, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so what's the gameplay loop of Tomodachi Life? Because the only thing I really understand about it are memes. I get that it's really funny. I think if people are scrolling TikTok or YouTube Shorts or something, you might see
a funny
clips of Tomodachi, and it's like Spider-Man falling in love with what is Reese Witherspoon's character in Legally Blonde?
Oh, Elle Woods.
Elle Woods, yeah. It's like random characters saying and doing really funny stuff to other characters. So what exactly is the like? What are you doing? When I pick it up, what am I doing with my hands?
Well, officially, you're simulating social interaction between your little Mii people. So you got like they fall in love, they fight, they become friends. They like
this is gonna sound real freaked out. Can they reproduce?
Yeah.
Okay, so there is there's like a generational thing that you do like in Sims.
Yes, my Mii had a baby with Nanami. They also can break up. First of all, actually, I didn't even prompt my Mii to have a baby with Nanami, which is like, I didn't even make her fall in love with him. She just thinks she be. But
are you the only like real Mii?
Oh no, I put my brothers in there, and I also put Beyonce and Meg the Stallion.
Great, Meg.
And I'm about to add multiple Michael Jacksons, because I saw someone, they had bad Michael Jackson fighting smooth criminal Michael Jackson,
Sure.
and I would like some drama like that. So yeah, I think that's really cool about it is like, not only do they have good shit going on, but for example, why did my Lloyd just break up with Yor? Like, what the hell is going on? Gojo just accused Beyonce of cheating with my brother, so they fighting.
Beyonce became the cheater that hurt her once.
It's crazy because Gojo's really toxic. I'm like, Gojo, I feel like this is how you really be.
Yeah, no, I think that tracks. Man, that tracks. Can I ask you something about these types of games? You mentioned you want the drama of having multiple Michael Jacksons. What does that do for you? Because I think the women in my life that love The Sims love it in a way that I do not understand. That just doesn't track for me. And it feels like it is kind of gendered socially. It seems like stereotypically in games like this, women like the mess. They like the cheating and the baby daddies and the fighting and at a bar and all that stuff. So like, what part of your brain is that scratching?
I wonder, and I wonder if I could even take it back to the sensationalist novel from like the Victorian era. That was like one of the first kind of books marketed to women. It's like, you have grand stories of people, they're fighting, there's affairs, there's death, there's all that. So I had a train of thought. I feel like I kind of lost it.
Hold on. I'm looking up some examples of the sensationalist
novel
that people might know. I mean, Thomas Hardy, Desperate Remedies, but I don't know if normies would know a lot of these.
Oh, maybe Lady Audley's Secret, maybe.
Lady Audley's Secret by Mary Elizabeth Braddon. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like, trashy. It's like
a period in the 19th century. Yeah. Which I guess is like, this is actually an interesting point because this is going to break over to mine, but I'm not going to say it yet. This like, what counts as like, for lack of better terms, trash media? Because this would also, I think this is a gendered version of pulp media. Comic books, action, violence, like OG noir stuff.
This is like, this is the direct predecessor of the pulp.
Yeah. Which is pulp interesting fiction. That it's like, okay, I think it's interesting that like the same, I think very similar sensations of novels and other media that are intended for two different gendered populaces, where one is more about violence and power, versus one being about intimacy and interpersonal relationships. And I've been thinking about this week because the thing that I've been watching is called Hat Atelier. It's this new anime that just started a couple weeks ago. As of this recording, there's only 5 episodes out. And first of all, it's good.
Ooh.
It's good. If you're already tapped into like anime stuff, you've probably already heard of it, but I'm going to try to convince people that aren't big weebs to watch it. It is like, it feels like the mangaka of Hat Atelier is, to me, my fiction of this person is a clear fan of Sailor Moon, clear fan of Inuyasha.
Oh, so lady mangaka.
And it even feels, I don't know if this is the direct influence, but it feels a little Harry Potter-y. And like Joanne is not the first person to do that kind of media, and she wasn't the last. So obviously,
but unfortunately, her influences on the magic idea of how people view magic in school and all that.
Yeah. It's a bummer that her influence on genre media is up there, not trumping Tolkien, but like, you know what I mean?
Did you see how she was like not transphobic? It was really weird.
No.
She basically just told the story about how one of her friends is like trans and how she only sees
Whatever, man.
them as
Whatever.
a
I don't give a
woman.
shit.
Her
Like,
as a woman.
shut up, Joanne, or whatever. Or just kidding.
No, but it's like,
Don't
how
sue
can
me.
you
Don't sue me.
validate your friend on a like individual scale? You can
People have
recognize their
cognitive
gender.
dissonances about everything. That doesn't surprise me one bit. But I will say, if you've been itching for something to fill that like Harry Potter void and you don't want to support the new show or go back and like redo the books or the movies, I think this is a good text. This is a good anime for you to watch. It is really interesting. It's about this girl that like wants to be a wizard or that wants to be a witch. But like there's the like the witches are exclusive, and then one day she finds the secret to becoming a witch, and it like blows up in her face, and like she has to go on this adventure to learn how to be a witch. And it's really good. It's really interesting. But the reason I brought it up in conversation with the like gendered sensationalism, there's a character in the show that is kind of like that is basically filling the role of the stereotypical white-haired sensei. There's a white-haired sensei, dude. Obviously white hair, teaching the students aura, right? And there's in the most recent episode, he popped off, and it was super cool and sick, and it was beautiful. The anime is beautiful as fuck, and the power system's so interesting, and I think it's like I was watching it with my girlfriend Kenny, and when he had these like moments that I would describe from my like masculine point of view as aura, she would react to the same degree, except the word she would use is hot. And I'm like, I think it's interesting that it feels like we're pulling from the same parts of our brain, but they're being translated through specific things. I think like he is cool. He is someone to emulate. He is someone to like strive for. And
It's
she's
from the
like,
same, yeah, it's from the same source.
Yes. So like,
it's just activating a different part
that?
of the brain or something.
Then what is being activated? What is the gender neutral origin that is being activated, if it can even be articulated in gender neutral terms?
Horny attraction. Because someone who, I don't know,
okay,
maybe watches,
maybe not horny, but I can see attraction.
Yeah. Horny is too strong. But I think like, someone who might not necessarily be the, even the women watching, someone who, likes their anime men really bad. That just might be something that they notice and whatnot. Like he's hot because he has aura, because he, he's really powerful, he's really cool, he's really good with his powers. That's what makes him hot.
Yeah.
So it's same source, just different how it's, I don't know, interpreted in your brain.
Or like where that sensation moves throughout the body.
Yeah,
I guess. Not, but before we get too weird, like I just want Witch Hat Atelier, really good. Check it out. It's about children, but it so far hasn't been weird. Hasn't been like, it hasn't sexualized any of the very young girl. Like the main students are all small, very clearly children girls, but it hasn't treated them any other way than like, you are students.
Yes. Oh, that my face was not because of what you were saying. It's because I thought about something.
Okay.
I was like, who's the first hot white-haired sensei?
The first hot white-haired sensei? Well, it can't be Kakashi, but he's a lot of people's first. I think, especially in America or like in the West.
Yeah,
that's kind of where people started.
Which gives us Gojo. But like, what's before?
So Naruto is in the same like lineage as a part of the big three. The father of the big three is like de facto Dragon Ball, and technically Master Roshi is a white-haired sensei, but he isn't hot. In fact, he's kind of the opposite of hot because he's a pervert. He's a creepy dude. I don't know. Let's look it
Kakashi
up.
is hot.
First white-haired sensei.
We're asking important questions, profound questions.
Who was the first white-haired sensei? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's a thing immediately found, but I don't know. Maybe that's a thing that we can research. We can get back to that. I think that's an interesting thing.
Somebody come tell us.
Okay. Yeah. Good stuff.
Like, if you have someone that predates Kakashi, please come tell me. I genuinely want to know, because I feel like there's probably a hot sensei that predates it.
There's like a rich lineage there of like mangaka shorthand that we probably only get the like tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, because you typically think of like the old white hair sensei, you know.
Yeah,
more like
maybe it's related to that, where it's like I think the stereotype is like the old master,
like the Gandalf.
Yeah, and I don't think it doesn't feel like it's that much of a jump to be like, but what if the old sensei was hot?
What if we saw him when he was young and hot?
Yeah. I'm sure there's something there. That's really interesting. All right.
It'd be a fun little article to read.
All right, now we have to talk about Euphoria. Let's get to the discussion of the day.
It occurred to me how much time has passed since season 1. I'm like, why am I struggling to remember so many things? Oh, maybe
I don't like
years.
it. I don't like that there's so much time. I don't know, maybe okay. So we're caught up on Euphoria. As of this recording, only 3 episodes are out, but this episode should release right after episode 4. So if episode 4 comes out and it turns out that episode's incredible and just like crazy good,
I'm willing to bet money it's not.
I'm willing to bet money it's not. But if it is, just know we're working with the information that we have. Yes. I think the first 3 episodes are whack.
This is not anime. You can't be taking 10-year breaks in between seasons.
I mean,
I think that's part of why
the modus operandi of TV shows these days, like especially since COVID, but really just.
I think when you want to, I think the problem is that this started with high school, so for this much time to reasonably pass for these characters to still be in high school, like fucking Alexa Demi pushing 40.
Yeah,
like
so
not even
for the people that aren't. So Euphoria originally was a show about high schoolers. It was supposed to be like Gen Z high schoolers that are caught up in this. Skins. It's Gen Z skins.
Gen Z skins.
It is high schoolers that engage in sex and drugs and not rock and roll because that's not cool anymore.
And they wear glitter.
Sex, drugs, and Drake.
And they like bisexual lighting.
Yes. It kind of defined the A24 aesthetic, even when A24 is only the publisher and not an actual producer. But season 3 of Euphoria so far, all of the students that were in high school are now like 24 diegetically, even though, again, like you said, Alexa Demi's almost 40. And they're all they're all doing different shit around LA, I guess.
I don't like it, honestly.
I think super fish. Let's give it a fair shake. Let's start at things we like. We like. It's pretty still.
It is pretty still.
It is still pretty.
Even with him, as far as him doing his Quentin Tarantino impression,
it does feel like he's doing a Quentin Tarantino impression, especially like down to the title card drops. They feel like a Quentin Tarantino production.
We don't want more Quentin Tarantino. We got Quentin Tarantino at home.
Yeah, and we barely like that nigga.
True.
But I will say both of those men can construct a vibe.
Quentin Tarantino,
they can hit a vibe for sure. Very good at that.
If Sam Levinson dealt purely in aesthetical production,
if he were like a music video director,
hell, I think even if he just if he stopped trying to direct, write, whatever he be doing, and he just like
every episode
moved
ends with
into
a prominent
cinematography.
created, written, and directed by Sam Levinson. And it's like,
Yeah.
dude. Sorry, I spoke over you. Finish the go back.
I think he could have a really successful career if he leaned more into like the aesthetic production of like film and media. But you know what? He probably wants to be his daddy. He probably wants to make a Rain Man. But Sam Levinson, you're never gonna make Rain Man. Just so you know.
Yeah, I don't think he's got it in him. What else do we like?
He ain't hungry for it.
Yeah. He's not hungry for that. He's hungry for some other shit, and I don't like what he's hungry for.
I think one of the problems.
Sorry. Wait, hold on.
No.
Hold the problems. Let's say at least one more thing that we like.
There have been some shots I quite liked as a bitch who loves a good shot. I thought the shot of Jules, even if it was like, there's certain shots that I see and I'm like, I feel like Sam Levinson really wants me to like put this on Tumblr. Like he's fishing for that shit.
Yeah. I think the actress that plays Angel is doing a good job. She is a new addition to the show, and she's so far has been my favorite addition. I really like her.
She's in a different show that I know my friend, a Spanish show.
Let's look at the actress so she's not just a girl from Euphoria. Let's give her
like
that
Vape Girl.
Respect. What is her name?
Priscilla Delgado.
Priscilla.
Oh, she's Puerto Rican.
Priscilla Delgado. Yeah. I think she's very entertaining when she's on screen. She hasn't been able to do much, but I'm sold by her. I'm very convinced by her, and I think her and Zendaya together. I'm pretty sure she is. I'm pretty sure she has credits in the next couple of episodes. I think they have great chemistry together. I wish that chemistry were on a different show.
Yeah, with good writing.
But I think they're great.
I like. No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I like the aesthetics of like Alamo and his little crew, whatever. The little black cowboy aesthetics.
I mean, I think similar. Like, I think I would like it more if it were a different show. But I do have a broader point to make about different show that I'm gonna say for later. Do you like anything else about it? Crickets.
So the fashion has been nice.
The fits are nice. Beautiful gowns, lovely gowns.
I have a compliment even for Sydney Sweeney. I thought the scene where I just thought when she was acting in the scene where Nate was getting beat up, it was really good. It was funny.
I don't agree. I was not sold in that scene at all.
I was cackling. I was very tickled.
So let's get into the complaints, because my first complaint is I think it's boring. I think Sam Levinson constructed this season as a series of shocking events and hoping the shock can get him like Twitter movement for a week each week. But it does not feel like there's substance to anything that's happening. It feels like people are just doing things so they can either, one, get naked, or two, have a crazy shotter scene. Right? I think the pig stuff wasn't very interesting to me. Like there are a couple scenes where it's like the shot would linger on something gross happening, just to be like, yeah. It's like when you when something smells bad, but you're like, let me get another whiff. Like, you know what I mean? It feels like that's what he was going for, and it didn't work for me.
It feels like Sam Levinson forgot season 1 as much as we all have. Like, it generally, even with the characters, the people I didn't like as much, it felt like they actually had a proper storyline going. I'm like, what am I seeing with like Cassie and Nate? Like, how is this dude like a 24-year-old real estate investor and he has all this debt and he owes all these loan sharks? Like, what are we? Cassie's just like, I want OnlyFans for flowers. Like, that's her storyline.
Yeah, I completely agree, because I think in season, so like we've talked about it a little bit in a previous episode, but I know when the first season came out, one of the biggest parts of the conversation is, why do they have to be in high school? Why are we sexualizing these teenagers? And I not referring specifically to the sexualization, but to answer the question, why does it have to be in high school? The answer is proximity. They have to be forced to be near each other for an extended period of time with less autonomy to do whatever they want.
This is actually brings me to my why this show is not going to work, and I think why one of my biggest gripes with it is that if you're going to start with the proximity of high school, you have to have a good enough reason for proximity after high school, and Sam Levinson fucked that all up completely. He skipped over the college. Mm-hmm. College could have at least brought in certain characters and, had a reason for other characters lingering around. Maybe they're just working locally. Mm-hmm. But no, he just...
Yeah.
It feels like he retconned the storyline.
You know what it feels like to me? I know that the timeline for this doesn't make sense, and I know it isn't this. It feels like a reboot of itself.
Yeah.
Like, you know how like a bunch of shows over the last 5-6 years have been like, remember, what if they were not high schoolers? What if we brought it back? Right? So many shows have been reboots. And so it's like, oh, remember those characters everyone cared about on Twitter a couple years ago? Well, now they're back, and now they're doing different drugs. Now they're having different, now they're naked more because they're adults now.
I feel like I don't know why I randomly just thought about Degrassi. I haven't seen too much of Degrassi, but what I do know is Degrassi has like a lot of spin-offs and reboots. And probably why we just have so many Degrassis is because the mold of the high school, like there's always high schoolers who are doing shit. You can always get new actors and tell new stories and all that. So I don't think it's impossible to make a story about people, over time. And I think with some really good writing, you could care about characters as they go through high school, college, in their young adulthood. But I don't think Sam Levinson can do that.
And I think he puts too much stock into the audience's love of these characters. It feels like he expects people to come back just because it's Zendaya.
Yeah.
Look, Zendaya's here.
And you know what's bad? What? He's kind of right, because Euphoria had like the most the highest viewership since.
I mean, we're talking about it now, so
yeah.
Clearly he got us.
You got me there, Sam.
You motherfucker. I'm watching your show. Yeah. No, you got it. Like it's hard not to have this conversation without being hypocritical.
I still want it to be good again.
I still want it to be good. Because I think the first season had goals and intentions and something to say. People, even though there was a lot of disagreement about it, a lot of people who watched the first season went, wow, this is a really authentic presentation of my high school experience. Like younger millennials, older Gen Z were like, no, this feels like my high school experience, even if it isn't realistic. It feels like how high school felt. Right?
Yeah.
And now Rue's a drug mule.
And a pimp, Loki.
And a pimp. And I'm like, we lost the plot. I mean, we jumped the shark when she got that briefcase full of drugs in season 2. That's when the show jumped the shark. And if people don't know the term jump the shark, it is when a TV show like crosses a threshold of ridiculousness / believability. And from that point on, just kind of becomes a hollow version of itself, popularized by Cheers. What's the Fonz on? Not the Fonz. What? What's his name? Fonz. Yeah, that's Cheers. Yeah.
Oh,
Fonzie. Happy Days, not Cheers. Happy Days. Famously cool guy Fonzie jumps a shark does a trick over a shark with a motorcycle, hence jump the shark. And
Shark jumped.
Shark has been jumped. Now it is just what if we push the barrier forward?
I can't believe he found even more ways to show us Sydney Sweetie's titties. Like, in all seriousness,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, this is.
All right. Now, I do want to say, this is not really a pivot, but I do want you to follow me for a moment. I think part of the thing that I found so frustrating is that in season 3, it feels like there's the DNA of like 2 or 3 different shows that could have been good and interesting. Do you sort of mean?
Yeah, like if he would have leaned, okay, for one, if he would have leaned into if it was just purely a crime drama, like a Narcos sort of crime drama, I could see his whole Quentin Tarantino impression. Like, I could see that, him pulling something like that off.
Yeah.
If it was just about the tensions, a little movie about the tensions between whatever, Alamo and Lori or whatever.
Yeah,
if like if some other shit.
If HBO was banking on like, well, people care about these characters, they're gonna come back to see this. I think they could have, instead of doing a season 3 that feels like a spin-off reboot, they could have just done spin-offs and have them being their own good show, which is something that TV shows used to do, especially on like ABC Family, like The Fosters and stuff. Like they would have spin-off shows, like or even further back, Happy Days, right? A bunch of those shows spun off into each other, and that's just how TV happened. I think Rue and her storyline should have been its own show.
That would have been a lovely spinoff.
It would have been an easy way to. Okay, we're gonna let's treat this like pilot pitch. There's this game that we play in office hours on Patreon for $5 a month. Called that we're calling pilot pitch, where we just like pretend to pitch a pilot off cuff with like no like strings attached, no like criteria, just a little fun game. I think if Rue had her own show, you could introduce it in a way that the pilot is still framed to get new audience and to bring old audiences, right?
Like a Better Call Saul.
There's this. Have you seen any of the Quentin reviews iCarly Victorious videos?
I know what they are.
Yeah. There's this point that he brings up in those, where it's like specifically in reference to Sam and Cat, and it's like, when you do a spin-off of a like beloved sitcom, typical standard operating procedure is you move the character somewhere else so they can start fresh, right? Rue starts somewhere else. It's already
in Mexico.
There. She starts in Mexico as a drug mule. Spoiler. Well, it's not a spoiler. It's the first frame of the season.
It's the premise of season 3.
She starts in Mexico, and like she could just be in this little bubble, right? I think if we framed it instead of like, what's Rue getting into this time? It's like, this is a story about a young woman who is paying for her crimes as a child, as a teenager, only to like find a thing that kind of resonates with her, right?
Because she owes that lady money.
Because she owes that lady money.
Catalyst to start the show,
right? We could even like use that as. We can even use that as a way to like you could just show flashbacks as if it is a different show, but treat it as if Rue is a new character leading this new show that is not Euphoria, right?
Because what you need to know about Rue is she's troubled. She owes somebody money.
She's troubled, and she's paying for a crime she did. She's also listless. She's like she has no drives. And in this season, she's starting to find a drive, right? She's paying off her debts with Lori, and then she finds Alamo and like really falls into the strip club. And I think that there's a version of this show that can like demonstrate strip clubs and strip club cultures in a light that is, I'm just going to use this word, but like move past it, like rehabilitative. Not that sex workers need the rehabilitation, but to a lot of people, like to the average Midwestern American, strip club bad. But I know, and I guess as a gym girly, like there is artistry to pole dancing.
Yeah.
Say more. Say more about pole dancing.
Oh, let me just say quickly, I'm kind of sad we didn't get to see like Labyrinth strip club music.
Yeah.
I feel like we really missing out on that. But pole dancing, even separate from like stripping, is like it's essentially like a sport, or I guess I don't know if it would be closer to a sport or like a performance art, like similar to like dance, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there's like there's a there's like it's formulaic in the sense
Yeah.
that, you know, there's considered like advanced moves, and you know,
Yeah.
like
There's
there's
a
levels and
rhetoric.
measurements. Yeah, there's
There's
a
a
rhetoric.
rhetoric to strip clubs. It's not just go up there and dance. It's like perform. And this is coming from a person that has never been in a strip club. This is just the idea of strip clubs. But say your thing.
I feel like my strip club media watching has become all morphed. So like I low key don't know where I just watched this from. But it was basically like a stripper just showing how the art of like knowing who to talk to at the club, like which dude, like reading people in
Mm-hmm.
the room, and like even beyond like the dancing, just like
Mm-hmm.
the customer service sort of aspect. It was like
Mm-hmm.
really interesting. It's like it's a little forensic sciencey
Yeah.
to, you
Or
know.
like a magician.
Yeah.
Like you do a
You
trick.
gotta
You
be a
do a sleight of
magician.
hand. There's a sleight of
You gotta
hand
be the
to it.
magician, the customer service, you gotta be the
Yeah.
performer, you gotta be do all these roles in one.
Yeah.
And
And so like I
yeah,
think Rue could have had her own show that was about her finding purpose in this strip club. I also want to, like, before people say it, like I've never produced a TV show. I've only studied literature for almost a decade, and like that is the extent. So take any of this with a grain of salt. This is not accounting for money or actors or whatever. I think the Sydney Sweeney thing, the Sydney Sweeney Maddie thing, could have been its own show. This like exploration of the industry of OnlyFans and like 2020s era like pornography and the culture surrounding that.
and the aesthetics they could have been real nice, because I feel like even, you know, with the natural Quentin imitation, feels a little 70s, and like some of the
Yeah.
outfits and the shots.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool in the OnlyFans exploration show.
And again, like there is a like flipping the script of a image of an OnlyFans model. There is a lot of money, and there's a reason why there's a lot of money in doing OnlyFans. And Maddie's storyline kind of gets at that a little bit, but it doesn't dwell on it because we don't have time.
Yeah. I felt like that one part was one of the more interesting parts, like where you go through Maddie representing the woman she seeks out when she's like in this job that she got in a really unserious way, which we won't dwell on. Like, we can go out and be like, hey, give me a job, lady.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it feels very 70s, right? Like to continue the Quentin Tarantino
I remember
cosplay.
Someone was like, this is how my parents think we still get jobs like today.
Yeah. But I think there could have been an interesting conversation there. I also think Jules could have had her own TV show. This art student that becomes a sugar baby.
Move her to New York. That would have been
move her to New York. Split up. Right?
Let her immerse herself in like the queer queer communities of New York and whatnot. That would have been really good.
I think there could have been 3 shows. And I think it's frustrating to me because I think if this weren't Euphoria and if this weren't Sam Levinson, I could see those 3 shows being really interesting.
Could have brought spin-off culture back.
I also think in there is a through line across them that is this like exploration of this new formation of woman sexuality. Right? Each of them have something to do with the ways the internet has kind of contorted a woman's autonomy and autonomy over their body and autonomy over her sexuality, right? But because it's Sam Levinson, I know it couldn't be that.
Ever.
Because it feels like he just wants to look at titties. It feels like the thing that he wanted to do was like, yeah, now they're adult. I can have way more titties on the screen.
He's like, whose titties can I get on screen? Who got the titty clause in their contract?
Who got the titty clause? I guess there has to be a titty clause in the contract, right?
Because you're never gonna see Zendaya's titties, but you're never gonna see
you will not full frontal or anything like that. Yeah,
but it's
Sydney Sweeney,
and when he hired,
more power to you.
I don't think it's bad that ever bad that sex workers who do like porn acting or become actors and mainstream TV shows and whatnot. But knowing Sam Levinson, I just
don't think he could do it in a way that would actively have something to say.
We know why he got the other blonde, what's her name, Faye's actor.
Yeah, I don't remember, but she at least was a working adult film star.
Yeah. But and what is her character? She just gets fucked by
she gets fucked and kind of thrown around. Yeah. Because I think Sam. That my idea of Sam, I do not know him personally. My idea of Sam is someone who thinks he's like celebrating liberation. To me, it feels like this idea of him is intending to frame these things as in a positive light. Like, these women are making money, these women are free, these women have to fight against these kinds of patriarchal systems. But instead of making a season of television that celebrates female liberation, it feels like it doesn't feel like he's celebrating the freedom that comes with the internet. It feels like he's celebrating the abundance that comes with the internet. Wow, since COVID, there's way more titties on the internet, and they're getting paid, and I like that. Is what the thesis, not the thesis statement, but a central theme of this season. That's what it feels like to me. It's cool that so many women are engaging in sex work in this downfall of capitalism, because now we get to see more. It just doesn't, it's not working for me. It's not working for me. And that could change this next episode. It probably won't.
But what? How many episodes are there per season? 8?
Probably. Yeah.
We're about halfway through.
We're halfway through, yeah. Oh, you know what I do want to say is, I think the thing that I'm mourning the most about Euphoria, and haven't seen the rest of the season, so it could come up. I feel like Nate and Jules just whatever their thing was just doesn't exist anymore.
Even the exploration of Nate's sexuality, I feel like that
he's
was
not gay no more. What happened? He's just an adult.
Did you almost strangle your ex over this?
Literally.
And now it's just
yeah. You know what's really fucked up? I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, or challenge me if you think I'm out of line, I think Nate and Jules had the best chemistry in the first season. It's not good. He's abusive, and he should not be with anyone at 17, or be with anyone as long as he's violent. But I found their thing to be the most compelling.
Yeah. And
I think it sucks that it just doesn't exist anymore. The last episode that we've seen is the wedding, right? Mm-hmm. With Cassie and Nate getting married, and Jules is there, and they kind of he was hey, when the police came knocking, I didn't show them your thing, and she's like, well, thanks. And that's it.
She had more of engagement with Cal, which I get, because she had
that statutory.
But I would have liked more of that too, with some interaction between Nate and Jules. It feels like Nate's not Nate.
It doesn't feel like he's a character this season. He doesn't feel like anything
It's like
more
he got
than
a lobotomy.
Cassie's husband. Yes. Yes.
They lobotomized Nate.
And like maybe that is because he's supposed to be adult now, and like I think enough adult men, not all, and not as far as like they should. I think enough adult men move away from some of that juvenile violence. Not all of it. Like he still sucks, but he feels like a different guy.
Yeah, even if he's not like, strangling a bitch out.
Yeah.
You know.
And you could talk. Sorry. Yeah.
Or no, yeah, it feels like there's no continuity for the person he was, even if he's not necessarily like having like violent outbreaks.
Yeah.
How he was in his teenhood.
Yeah.
Like even seeing in the moment, it would be nice to see moments where it's like, oh, we see he's obviously grappling for control over himself. Like I don't even think we get anything like that.
Yeah. And I think some people probably chalk it up to like, oh well, they're 24 now. We assume he's grown. I don't know this nigga anymore. I don't know him. You have to reintroduce him after this break, which is why it shouldn't be season 3. It should be a sequel. Ideally 3 sequels. But this is a different guy, and I feel no attachment to him. I feel like nothing towards their him and Cassie's story arc. Okay, his whole thing is he owes people money.
He wants to,
and like
how
so does Rue.
Nobody wants to tell me how he's so, like convincingly a 24-year-old, just this real estate developer who got all this money from all these people, and he's not even giving like convincing like the Danish deception nigga. Like they was giving him all the money.
Yeah,
but like I don't even feel like he's charismatic enough.
Well, he's tall and white, so have you considered that?
True.
Exactly. I feel like the only character that hasn't been flanderized is Maddie. I feel like Maddie's the only one that has been consistent crossing over into this 3rd season. Even Rue, it's like I think Rue's progression feels like a suburban like Wasp's family's understanding of a drug addict. The first season starts with her in rehab, and it's like her holding her like challenging, or like her relationship to her sobriety is a central part. And now it's like, I'm a drug mule, and I deal drugs, and there's just drugs around.
Don't do drugs, kids, or you're gonna be swallowing cocaine.
It just feels like Sam Levinson is treating that like it's the natural progression of a 17-year-old drug addict, which I don't buy for a second.
He really, at this point, it's like almost like he's turning it into like an adventure. Like her addiction is like this adventure,
it's
versus
a fun ride.
Versus I'm like, wow, why? Show me the rock bottoms again of being like 24 and you're struggling with addiction and you've alienated everyone in your life and you don't really have any. Also, I feel like I don't like how quickly it seems like Sam was gonna be like, yeah, Jules and Rue, let's just reconnect.
They kind of hung out sometimes during the time skip, and now they're reconnecting and they're just cool with each other.
I wish it was more considerate of like,
my time,
of how, people, how addiction affects the people around you and whatnot. It feels like that's not happening.
I agree.
Especially since they cut out her, I don't know where Gia at or anybody.
And obviously, I think that's a good point. Obviously, a lot of this can be chalked up to, not all of it. I think Sam Levinson is a hack. Is that okay to say?
He's the talentless hack who wants to be as good as his daddy, and he's never gonna be as good as his daddy.
He peaked out the gate, and then will never meet that again. But
you're never gonna make Rain Man.
There are like rewrites, and people have quit. Like we mentioned, Labyrinth is gone. Barbie Forever is gone. 2 of the actors have died, and they're like, I don't know. It's obviously these things were shot, or at least the Eric Dane was shot before he passed. But it just feels weird I think I feel weird towards Eric Dane because in the show, because they also keep bringing up Fez, Angus.
Yeah,
What's his last name?
Angus Cloud.
Angus Cloud. Angus Cloud's character, who was passed before they did this. They kept they treat it as if he's alive and in prison.
Yeah, in jail.
And she'll have phone calls with him one-sided because the actor isn't there, and it's just like.
Or when she was like, Lexi, hey,
Yeah.
you should check in with Fez.
Check in with Fez. He really misses you. He's not there. Why are we? And it's been years. Why do we need? It feels like a superficial attempt at continuity that I just don't buy. Yeah. And it feels weird.
We could have had a moment to mourn Fez by this point, but he wasn't even. He was too lazy to even do that. It's so much lazier to be like, "Hey, Fez, what's up?"
He's alive and just inaccessible. Let's just keep living. Yeah,
I don't like that.
I think the show is a mess, and I think the biggest crime of all for me is that I find it boring. I think a lot of that other stuff you can explain. Sometimes messy's fun. Like this season, I've been talking to Kenny about like this most recent season of Temptation Island on the Netflix was really boring. Like it was really stale because it wasn't that.
I'm
messy.
A second screen this shit.
Like genuinely, and I enjoyed it more because it felt like some of the characters or some of the not characters, the real life participants had what seemed like moments of growth. And that was rewarding for me, but it wasn't messy. And so she was bored the whole time.
What is growth without mess? That's boring.
I think that goes back to the Sims thing, where it's like, that just doesn't appeal to me.
That's just, I want that in real life. Not on my TV show.
Yeah.
Not on my Temptation Island.
Yeah, no.
Not on my Euphoria.
I think for when it comes to the review and like recommendations, if you didn't care for the second season, you're not going to like this season. Go and skip it.
Because it's even worse.
It's worse and more boring. It's not interesting. I think it's frustrating. The
things you hate about season 2, I would say, are even more prevalent now.
Yeah. In addition to a whole slew of other problems.
And we got no labyrinth.
Truly the biggest issue of it all.
Like what?
He made the show for me. Labyrinth score and is like the soundtrack of the first season. Like I would bump that regularly.
I think Labyrinth brings us to why we don't ever play with your musical people in your show.
Yeah.
Because they're very important.
Yeah.
Don't play with your sound people. Whatever you did to piss Sam off. I don't know what happened. I'm just assuming Sam Levinson pissed him off because there's been like a theme of like Sam apparently clashing with like actors.
Every single person,
From Barbie Ferreira, I heard he clashed with Hunter Schafer. I heard he clashed with Labyrinth.
Yep.
You know who I miss, even though I'm like, I don't know why he would be here, but I am interested in his career trajectory post Euphoria. Austin Abrams, the white boy who's in Weapons.
Oh yeah. He was really he was like mostly only on the first season because Barbie's stuff got cut.
Yeah, because she was gone, so he was.
I thought he was a compelling part of the first season. I thought him and Barbie had interesting. Him and his character in Cat had interesting stuff the first season.
Yeah,
he's gone.
I'm honestly good for him. He
genuinely get out.
I heard he's in the new Resident Evil movie. That'll be fun, at least. It'll be fun. It'll be more fun than Euphoria.
I hope
willing to say that.
Yeah. And if you want to have more fun, Leah, where else can they find us?
You can find us on any app that has podcasts, as well as TikTok and Patreon.
And on Patreon for $5 a month, you get access to our office hours, where we're a little bit looser, a little bit riskier, consume a little legal substance every now and then. Just enjoy more fun of the pod after the pod. And if you want a sneak peek, here's one right here.
But yeah, I saw some of it, and I saw this guy, like, there's a part where he, like, gets his dick shot off. That scared me so bad. I was 10, I think, and he got his dick shot off. But, like, see, what happened was, I'm like, I just have to take this to the grave, because I can't tell my parents I'm scared, because then they're going to know I was watching shit I wasn't supposed to. at my friend's house, and I'm like, oh, what if they don't let me go to her house anymore? So like, I gotta take this to the grave.
So if you can afford it, go and send it our way. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and until we see you next, stay black, stay nerdy, and read books.
Please read.
I started reading the Dark Tower series, like Stephen King. I haven't read any Stephen King before. This is my first like Stephen King book, and one of my friends loves the series, but the version that she has isn't on Audible, and so I'm like,